More than just simplifying rational expressions, we also perform operations with rational expressions. So now we're going to look at multiplying and dividing them. You still want to factor both the numerator and the denominator. Remember to factor out the negative if you have a negative leading coefficient. When you multiply, you're going to cross-cancel common factors, and then you're going to multiply any remaining factors together. When dividing, remember to multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor, and then you follow the same steps as in multiplication. So in number 11, we're going to factor the numerators and the denominators. So this is 3 times p minus 6 over 8 times p plus 6 times 4 times p plus 6 over 9 times p minus 6. When you're here, you want to cross cancel. So if I have the same thing on the top and the same thing on the bottom, then it cancels and goes away. And at this point, I'm left with 3/8 times 4/9. Well, again, you cross cancel. So 3 over 9 becomes 1 over 3. And 4 over 8 becomes 1 over 2. So this simplifies down into 1 over 6. In number 12, the top and bottom, I have 3 times t minus 2 over 5t squared times, now the top, if I write it in standard form, negative t squared plus t plus 6, and then I factor out a negative, t squared minus t minus 6. You want to factor the expression inside, so this is going to factor into t plus 2 and t minus 3. So I have negative t plus 2 times t minus 3 on top. And this is a difference of squares on the bottom. So I have t plus 2 and t minus 2 on the bottom. So you cancel out what's the same on the top and the bottom. And then you're left with what's left over. So I have negative 3 times t minus 3 over 5t squared. And number 13, when we factor the numerator and the denominator of the first term, this factors into h minus 5 times h minus 5 over 12 times h minus 5 times my second term, I have 3 times h minus 5 over 4 times h minus 5. I cancel out the things that are the same in the top and the bottom, and I have 3 times h minus 5 over 12 times 4. Well, my 3 over 12 will reduce to 1 over 4. So this simplifies down into h minus 5 over 16. And number 14, we're going to factor the numerator and the denominator of each term. So my first term, this factors into x plus 5 times x minus 2 over x plus 5 times x minus 4 times my second term, This factors into x minus 4 times x plus 1 over x plus 1 times x plus 3. You cancel out the factors that are the same in the top and the bottom, and you're left with what's left over. And number 15, this one's a little different, but the same process will apply. So I have 1 plus 1 over d times 1 minus 1 over d. Well, we're just going to multiply using distribution. So 1 times 1 gives me 1. 1 times negative 1 over d is minus 1 over d. 1 over d times 1 is plus 1 over d. And 1 over d times negative 1 over d is minus 1 over d squared. So my negative 1 over d and positive 1 over d will cancel itself out, and I'm left with 1 minus 1 over d squared. Well, in order to add fractions, you have to have a common denominator. So this is d squared over d squared, rewriting my 1, minus 1 over d squared. So this is d squared minus 1 over d squared.